of knowledge. We are happy to have him as a keynote speaker. I welcome you, Dr. Aloknath, to this program as a theme speaker. The overall program duration planned is of around 90 to 100 minutes. That includes a professional society speeches of 15 to 20 minutes, introduction of speaker, hymn note and address of around 50 minutes, question answer and vote of thanks of around 20 minutes. Innovation is the key word which lays success in every field. The government of India is also promoting innovation through IPR mission and Kapila committee under Ministry of Education and Innovation for Samartha Bharat, Self-Reliant India, Startup India and Make in India. Please be with us all as the deliverables in the program will be of interest to everyone. Once again, I welcome you all and wishing this program every success. Thank you. Jai Bharat. Over to you, Dr. Amar.
This program is hosted by 4 professional society bodies, IE, IETE, IEEE and IIT. I request Dr. Sanjay Zope sir to tell about IEI.
Good evening to you all. Myself, Dr. Sanjay Zope, immediate past chairman of Institution of Engineers Pune Local Center. Welcome you all to this 11th edition of this program, which is consistently organized by the convener, Dr. Girish Mundada, who has put the efforts into doing this till now. The Institution of Engineers is the largest multidisciplinary professional body of engineers established in 1920 with its headquarters located in Calcutta and incorporated under Royal Charter on 9 September 935 by the then His Majesty of King George V. The Royal Charter endowed the institution with the responsibility to promote the general advancement of engineering amongst the members and the person attached to the institution. The institution has been serving the engineering fraternity over a century with its national and international presence through 125 centers spread over all over India, 6 overseas chapters, 6 fora, and organ namely called as Engineering Staff College of India, Hyderabad. The institution encompasses 15 engineering disciplines with a corporate membership of more than 3 lakhs engineers. About the Pune center, we have got a beautiful Pune center at the Jangli Maharaj Road main location, where we have got provide this infrastructure to the members who become the members, and becoming members also help you getting associated with the engineers from the different 15 disciplines. We conduct the national convention, national seminars on special faculty development program. So it benefits to all. And further, we are also publishing the journals with a research paper with the Springer and other agencies. So it is beneficial to us all. So I will request the persons who are not member of our institution, please be members and you can take the advantage of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So now I would like to call Dr. Virendra Shetty sir, Chairman IETE, to tell about IETE. Dr. Virendra sir.
Yeah. A very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I congratulate all the society members for organizing this very important program which we organize every year. Special congratulations to Dr. Mundar sir, because you all know that coming together is beginning, and from last so many years we are coming together to celebrate World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, which generally happens on 17 May. And the topic which was chosen for this today's program is also relevant, and it's very important, that digital innovation for sustainable development. And I'm very much thankful to our today's speaker, Dr. Aloknath sir, for sparing his valuable time to guide all of us. You all know that Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering is very very well-known social organization, which is working in the field of electronics and telecommunication and information technology. And there are more than 150,000 members are there in IETE. And there are more than 65 centers that are located. And through a network of students and through the network of professional experts, IETE is working for the social cause, and government of India has also recognized IETE as a zero scientific research center. So it's a very important organization, and through different programs, workshops, through conferences, we are always in touch with student, and whatever new technologies are coming, we are upgrading through our such short-term programs to our student. And a very important thing is that uh, at Pune Center from last 2 years, the two major events of IET, especially the zonal seminar and its annual convention, both the programs we organize. And the most important thing is that as today's topic is sustainable development through IET, we have done lot many programs so that there are small issues which are there in the societies that can be reduced. So the traffic problem in Pune city, you all are aware. Similarly, plantation of tree, visiting old age home, giving some facilities to the, you can say, people who are in need. So these are all activities which we are doing through IET. Once again, I congratulate all the societies, professional society members, that they are coming together for a noble cause. And for this, especially our Dr. Mundada, who is our good friend, he took always such initiatives. So I congratulate him also, and I congratulate all the chairman of the society for supporting this noble cause. So thank you very much. Over to you, Dr.
Thank you, sir. So I would like to invite Dr. Surekha Deshmukh, Madam, Chair, IEEE Pune section, to tell about IEEE Pune section. Thank you.
Everyone, and warm welcome to all of you to celebrate World Telecommunication and Information Society Day today. I stand before you as chair of IEEE Pune section with immense pride to be a part of this collaborative engagement with professional organizations like IETE, IEI, IET over last 11 years. First of all, on behalf of entire team, I once again express our gratitude to our eminent speaker, Dr. Aloknath De, who is senior member of IEEE and a past chair of Bangalore section, for actually accepting our request to be the theme speaker. Let me share a couple of highlights of IEEE Pune section. Section is instrumental in contributing in the field of technology and humanity, along with our partner ecosystem of more than 15 technical society chapters, 20 plus engineering colleges having student branches, and 2 affinity groups. We work very closely with MCCIA, PKC, PIC, Pune Municipal Corporation, industries like Eaton Technologies, India Energy Storage Alliance. We work with many NGOs as well as other professional organizations. We have been contributing to the field of agriculture, healthcare sector, smart city by the virtue of creating platform for technology transfer, building some research projects, developing proof of concepts, and creating entrepreneurial opportunities for our budding engineers. I'm really very happy that we contribute as a technology partner of MCCIA for their new initiatives, which are in the space of cyber security and IoT cluster. Also, taking cognizance of COP28 this year, we have established special interest group on energy and environmental engineering. With our international MOU with IEEE North Jersey section, we are really scaling up all our initiatives to global level too. We receive always awards and recognitions at India Council level, MGA level, as well as R10 level. We are committed to creating value through our dedicated volunteering. To me, today's event is the best example of collaboration. So let me congratulate entire team for successful organization of this event under the able guidance of Dr. Girish Mundara sir. And I'm really eager to hear the speech and the insights of Dr. Aloknath. So let's have a great learning, and I welcome all of you once again. Thank you very much. Over to you, Amar sir.
Thank you, madam. So now I would like to call Dr. Yogita Vaidya, madam, Joint Secretary, the IIT Pune Local Group, Local Network. Thank you.
Yes. First of all, on the day World Telecom Day, I would like to congratulate all the members who have taken the initiative for this event and all the users of the telecommunication technology. So I'm here to speak a few words about the IET. The IET is basically a multidisciplinary professional society having a rich history of 150 plus years among the professional societies worldwide. It has around 1,54,000 plus members in about 148 countries and a proud set of volunteers about 4,000 plus. So basically, what we can consolidate is it is the society which is powered by members and driven by volunteers, members from academia, from industry. In India, altogether, there are 8 local networks, and Pune is one of them. The vision for 2030 is to strive for working in the areas of healthy lives, digital future, sustainability, and observing the climate changes. So our values basically are integrity, excellence, and teamwork. With these values, the IET aims at working together to engineer a better world. With these few words, I really take a opportunity to be the part of this activity and very eager to listen to our eminent speaker. That is from my side, sir. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the chance to represent the IET.
Okay. Thank you, madam. So now I would like to tell about ITU theme speech. So this year, the theme of ITU is Digital Innovation for Sustainable Development. Building a sustainable future demands innovative thinking and action, especially in the digital world. The World Telecommunication and Information Society Day 2024 is a chance to explore how digital innovation can help connect everyone and unlock sustainable prosperity for all. Innovative technology can help tackle the world's most pressing challenges, from fighting climate change to eliminating hunger and poverty. The digital technologies can help achieve 70% of targets under the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Yet, clearing digital gaps hinder innovation in many parts of the world. The lack of policies, investment, and digital skills leaves many countries struggling to keep up in the fast changing digital landscape. The whole world needs digital innovation. Together, we can make it happen. Hence, the Pune professional networks of IAI, IEEE, IETE, and IIT for over a decade have collaborated for this day, and today we have Dr. Aloknath Day, sir, to deliver a talk on digital innovation for sustainable development. Thank you. Now I am requesting Professor Mandar Purjekar, sir, to introduce the theme speaker, Dr. Aloknath Day, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. I am Khurjekar and glad to introduce Dr. Aloknath Day. He holds PhD from McGill University of Montreal, Canada. He did his ME from Institute of Science, Bangalore, BTech from IIT Kharagpur, and also distinguished alumni of IIT Kharagpur. He is founder of Cyber Physical System Initiative, CTO of
CTO-Xtrans Solutions and executive coach of CTO Leadership Masterclass. He has been corporate vice president of Samsung Electronics and chief technology officer of Samsung India. He is an adjunct professor at IISc Bangalore and IIT Jodhpur. He is in the board of governors for DAIICT Gandhinagar. He has 32 years of industry and business experience, including Bell, Nortel, Hughes, Ericsson, Samsung. During 2005 to 11, he served as adjunct professor at IIT Roorkee and Delhi. He is the chairman of National Steering Committee for Technology and ICT for Agriculture and Environment of the Ministry of Electronics and IT. He is recipient of Alexander Graham Bell Prize in Canada. He has received IETE Memorial Awards, IDC Insight Awards, Zeno Award, ASSOCHAM Award, and NASSCOM AI Game Changer Award. In 2023, IEEE MGA Innovation Award is also received by him. He has been the chair for IEEE Bangalore section. He is fellow and council member of IEI, fellow IETE, and fellow and DC member of INAE. Aloknath explores the research to revenue linkage deeply, and he has 50 plus patents under filed, granted, and developed many innovative products. With his leadership, Samsung India has touched 7,500 plus patents cumulatively by its silver jubilee year. This resulted in company receiving National IP Award multiple times from Government of India for highest number of patents filing and grants. Recently, he has co-edited a book on 6G mobile wireless networks with Springer and has contributed for many other book chapters. In 22, he has cited in world's top 50 CTOs. His R&D and business interest is in cyber physical systems with underlying technologies of augmented intelligence and secure IoT. Through Samsung Ventures and as angel investor, he has invested in 3 dozen startups. I again welcome Dr. Alok Dey. Thank you. Over to Amar sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we are really proud, Dr. Aloknath Dey, sir. So everybody, our expert talk of Dr. Aloknath Dey, sir. I request sir to deliver the session on theme digital innovation for sustainable development. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Just let me set it and then we'll be there. I hope you can see it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can hear me clearly, see the slide.
Yes,
and
sir.
just to check the changeover is happening, right?
Yes, it is also visible. Thank you.
Okay, great. So thank you, Mr. Kurjekar, for your kind words and introducing me. Dr. Amar, you have set the context very well for this World Telecom and Information Society Day, Digital Innovation for Sustainable Development as a theme. This day is actually 17th May, but we understand that at the convenient point, we all congregate and discuss. And today, 25th May, is the day that Pune, all the communities of 4 professional networks are together to discuss this. I'd request all that are present to relax and listen and maybe mute your mic and do whatever. So thank you, Dr. Vandada, for inviting and convening. It's not easy. I've been also part of these many societies, but bringing them together, celebrating it for 11th year is something very significant. I commend the Pune chapter of all the 4 professional networks for doing so. Thanks, Dr. Sanjay from IEI, Dr. Virendra from IET, Dr. Surekha from IEEE, and Dr. Yogita from IET to be able to put forward your thoughts and how these activities are happening. In fact, IEI and IETE have been member for last 40 years roughly, and IEEE I'm member for 30 years, with ComSoc for 25 years. IET is something that I've been thinking, but I plan to join this year because one of my best friend, Dr. Gopichand Katragadda, he has been CTO for Tata Group, and now he's global president for IET, and he's the first Indian president in 142 years of history, I believe. So that's something that we are discussing. So I again commend all of you for holding such activities and taking this forward. With that note, let me move on to the topic. The way I will go is 3 parts. First, we will talk a bit more on the digital innovation. Then we will talk a bit more on the sustainable development. And then we will see the whole theme together, how it works. So let me first talk about the innovation. You know, these days we talk and we think we are the people that are innovating in the world. But I think if we take a step back, and even 1785 has been plotted here, there are waves of innovations. They are different in nature. So it may look like in today's metric, they may not appear to be in the same context as innovation. But when you see that, the first wave of innovation is on the textiles, the dresses that we wear, the iron, the water power, the commerce, the trading that happened. I think that's a first wave of innovation. Second wave came with cotton as a natural corollary from textiles. You have the steam power and the railroad, all the communications, mobility in the real sense has happened in this second wave of innovation. Third wave brought in electricity, internal combustion engines, all the cars and vehicles that we see, but also chemicals. Chemicals from there to taking it forward and you getting into electronics into the next step. You have the fourth wave of innovation, that is petrochemicals and electronics. Your aviation, space, that is where I see the fourth wave of innovation. You see the fifth wave of innovations, that's a natural corollary from chemicals to petrochemicals. But in this fourth wave, we can see the aviation, space. On one hand, the real mobility. On the other hand, electronics, that power this whole journey. We are now into the fifth wave in a deep way: digital network, biotechnology, and the software information technology. Now we have entered just into the sixth wave, and this is the theme of today's presentation. This is all about sustainability. Sustainability, there is a new element. What's the fundamental difference between these first 5 waves and the sixth wave? So far, the innovations that we do, it's for us, for our benefits, but it has been an open loop system. It has not taken the nature into account. Some of the bigger things of this universe have been left behind a little bit or not put into the context in a strong sense. So if you look into chemistry, now it's becoming green chemistry, nanotechnology is green nanotechnology. We have energy, but we are talking renewable energy. We are talking about a system level thinking and making sure, you know, if you have a data center, it's not just enough for today. We do the data center and we do functionally well, but what is the implications of that data center? We have an open AI and the chat GPT, but what is the power that is required to do it? Can we do better? That's the question that is coming in this set of innovation. With that, I move into the next 3 slides to make this digital innovation. And given that this is telecom, I would more like to start with one slide on that. And 5G is presently deployed. We have got this opportunity to work in Samsung, for example, 2011 when I joined to 10 years plus that we worked on 5G. But we started also working since 2020 on the 6G, and this has been a co-edited book, but Springer touted it as first world's 6G mobile wireless networks book, and we covered many dimensions in that. Now, not going into many things in today's talk, but just 2 points I wanted to highlight. What is the change that is coming, the paradigm shift in the communication? One is we have ground level, all these base stations, and I got chance in 2G to work in Bell Northern Research, 3G in Hughes and satellites, 4G in Ericsson's, and 5G in Samsung. So we have seen this whole evolutions of the generations. But we have a ground stations, we have a satellite network different, maritime network is very different. Now drones are starting to come. So instead of 2G communications, two-dimensional communications, in 6G, we are going to think about three-dimensional communication. So not everything has to be on the ground. You can see things from top. You can put your part of the base stations in a drone or in a satellite, low Earth orbit satellite. So how do you make a 3D systems which covers all of these types of communication would be one theme in the 6G communication. The second point I wanted to highlight is that networks are growing, so network nodes would be more. You have tons of services that you are providing, and then huge amount of data are getting collected. Now, they are nice to provide the features, and when you combine that on the right-hand side, it's not human-to-human communication, but things are coming in place. There is physical infrastructure, vehicle-to-infrastructure communication. Environment is coming. It's quite a lot if we think about it. But in that, there is beauty of communication, but there is challenge of breaking systems. So this is where we are talking about a trusted system, trusted communication system. Privacy should be guaranteed, safety is assured, reliability is ensured, availability, network is available, integrity is something we respect, and confidentiality has to happen. When you have all of these things in such a vast thing, so you can have a trusted system. So that's, I think, 2 dimensions I just wanted to highlight. What is it that in the digital innovation space that's going to happen and change the paradigm? Now let me take another example in the digital health. So 2 slides I'm going to explain what's changing there. For example, we had this smartphone and you have many sensors there. Sensors of accelerometer, gyrometer, gyroscope, magnetometer. Then we brought the watch. And watch is also touching in the body. So there are many sensors that can touch your wrist and can continually monitor. So what are the first set of things? First set of motion sensors, pedometers like step count, activity tracking, how much calorie are you consuming? These are the first set of things that happened. Then we moved into bottom part, which is an ambient sensors. Can I have a light sensor to detect? UV sensors. I think in Samsung Galaxy S6, S7 timeframe, we brought in a UV sensors. You can have a temperature measurements, pressure, some kind of piezoelectric sensors touching the body. So that's your ambient sensors. Then we moved right side bottom a little bit medical ways, which is body sensors. Can I know if your sleep is well? So if you have wearables and if you are sleeping, turning, tossing, I can detect. Blood pressure, 2017 from Samsung, we made an app to be able to launch it. And it was like, plus minus 6 mm difference than measurements, like 120 by 80. So plus minus 6 errors, that's kind of permissible. Now, these are not a medical device. It's not FDA approved, but it's a good indication that should you go to a doctor, get it checked, go to the next step of checking. And currently, not just Samsung, but also if you look into Apple's whole watch, you'll see they are moving quite a lot in the health domain of ECG, arrhythmia detections, even EEG. Sometimes you need those electrodes and nodes, so it will not be fully compact. But nonetheless, I'm sure, with few attachments, we can do ourselves instead of going to be a burden into the hospitals or the time that is taken, or we defer not checking it. I think this is very healthy. And we have seen that in COVID time, how SpO2 we can measure. Now, phone could measure, but also there are small separate devices. Based on that, we took it to the next step as visual sensors, and we created an eye-like platform. And I'm taking examples from the work that we have done, because I could also take slides from here and there, but I prefer on things that we have built, we understand well, and around that, what is happening. So ITU, whose World Telecom Day we're celebrating, is an UN body. And similarly, there are many UN bodies. And this is a project between Samsung and UN. We created this eye-like platform. The whole idea was, as you can see in the picture, there is a smartphone, but there is a front-end attachment because we wanted to make sure the fundus picture is very clear. But I think this is like 2-3 years older when we started doing. But currently, the resolutions in the camera is so high that even you may not need that front end. Once you get the retinal picture, the fundus, you actually put it to an AI engine, multi-layer AI engine, right? A visual detection can be a convolutional neural network, multiple layers, more than 16 layers, where you detect, is it a good eye? Is it a bad eye? Is it an eye that needs to be checked further? So again, we are reducing burden onto the doctors because good and bad you can decide, and few people maybe we should monitor manually. Also for people, the work that we have been doing is any disease that can be detected early, there are rooms for detections. And if we detect, it can be also cured quite a lot. Because if you detect but cannot cure, then that detections may not have that benefit. But if you can detect, there are mechanisms. And if you can correct, then nothing like it. That's beautiful. So this is one such example. And in India, 4 eye clinics that we have partnered, and Arvind Eye Clinic in Puducherry was the starting point, but we have now taken even in the eastern region. And the data could be on the cloud. It can be set up, it can be monitored centrally, and can be taken from there. From the Bangalore lab that we designed, taken it forward in India, but through the UN partnerships, we've now taken it to Papua New Guinea, Vietnam, Morocco, and many other countries. So I think by now you have got through these 2 examples what we mean by digital innovation. And this is something is my new company, Xtrans, that we are trying to do, because it's not enough to know and do it at the industry level, but all these professional societies that we are here, we also participate with the student bodies. The next gen leaders need to know and they have to practice. So what we have created is this board in Xtrans Solutions, which can accommodate and put software of AI, IoT, blockchain, security, not different boards, which has got multiple sensors that you can see on the left, which some of them are on the board, some you can attach. We have kept it open so that they can choose whether it is a health application or an agri application or an industrial applications. On the right side, you see many actuators that are there. And then it can be not just doing on device, but also can connect to AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, and ThinkSpeak is MATLabs, so students know that. So it's this thing, and we have been taking it with many of the universities forward. We started with IIIT DM Karnool some time back, and now we've signed with VTU, Belagavi, that Visvesvaraya Technological University for all Karnataka College to take it forward. We've signed an MOU, and last week I just did with IIIT Sri City. So if you are interested, you can talk offline or see my LinkedIn and informations. But my point here is you do these digital innovations, but next gen leaders, students, the young professionals need to learn and get plugged it into the system, and so that they continue that journey in the industry. So with that, I will pause on the digital innovation and I move to sustainable development. So UN has defined 17 SDGs, right? And you can see that on the chart. Many of you are very familiar. I know IE has a Sustainable Development Forum. IEEE, particularly Pune, has been quite active on the climate actions and other things. Many societies, I'm sure they are involved. And this is one area I believe professional networks can do very well and take it forward more than the industries, more than the universities. I think it's the government, NGOs, professional societies, they have to play a critical role in this thing being forward. So first two, no poverty, 25 crore people, I think our Prime Minister have been telling they have been elevated out of poverty range. Zero hunger. How do you manage food distribution? On one hand, food is getting wasted. On the other hand, people don't get. A lot of policies that have to happen around this. SDG 3 and 4, health and education, are very fundamental for all of the people. Therefore, there is a nurturing needed. SDG 6, 7 is about getting clean water, toilet sanitations, clean energy. I think these are also next level of vital force for our life. 13 goes into climate actions that was not done so well earlier, and we have been now bringing climate or the environment into picture. So it's very, very vital. Not just that, when you do that, SDG 14 and 15, we are saying, is not the human species. We have seen in the COVID time that even we were locked, the other animals were enjoying quite a lot in that, right? So it's a much bigger world, and it's better for us to take care of them well for them and at the same time for our sustenance. 11 and 12 is for the cities and consumption productions. I will have a separate point to cover here. SDG 8 and 9, if you see the economic activity. Now, yes, we can think about climate and basic necessity, but before climate comes our livelihood. How do you run industry? How do you build infrastructure? What are the innovations? How can I make sure I get a decent job and there are sufficient economic growth? Without that, nobody will be able to think of other factors. SDG 5, 10, and 16 talks about equality or reducing inequalities, peace, justice, strong institutions, right? It can be gender, it can be geography, it can be anything. Any new things that come in the world, even a technology like an AI, it creates a divide. When finance came, people are below a line, people are above a line. Education, there are people below a line, people above a line. AI knowledge, people are below and above. There are new axis that comes and that divides. There is no way we can do anything. Good part is they don't always cut the same set of people. So it's a different axis. So there is a hope for another set of people to come up when a new axis comes. That's the opportunity. Challenge is those who are doing well and didn't prepare, they might go under. This is where I think we'll have to be always conscious and bring the other people, disadvantaged people, inclusion is an important factor, whether it is diversity or otherwise. And finally, to do it, we can't do alone, and therefore partnerships is part of the goal. Now, taking this forward, IEI has been doing, but also IEEE from Bangalore sections. This is an example. On the left side, we decided from 2020 to do a Bangalore Humanitarian Technology Conference. And 2020 and 2021 was introducing all those SDGs. 22, we took responsible production and consumption. This is a picture of 23 in Mysuru JSS College. When I was chair, we thought good health and well-being. Let's bring all the doctors and the engineers on the platform. I mean, half of them are doctors that you see and many in the audience. And we had a very good dialogue in the hospital, not in the engineering college. I mean, JSS has that, but we wanted to do inside the hospital. So this is to take it forward, and BHTC 24 we just did in Bangalore, life below water. This is a coastal region, so we took that as a topic. On the right side, what you see, again, it's a picture, but of the title that you see. What we thought is the sustainable development. If you go back and look into SDG 2030 goals, many of the metric that we set is not getting fulfilled. And definitely there are chances that, it will not be fulfilled by 2030. And when you go deeper inside, why it did not happen, why it's not happening? Because when it's for somebody else and I am having poverty or hunger or, economic growth as an issue, people would not be able to think about the bigger things. So we started thinking as UNESCO body, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Education for Peace and Sustainable Development. This was an international workshop. So I got a chance to work together, and we started drafting SFG, not SDG, Sustainable Flourishing Goals. And this is about 2070, because we thought we need 2 generations after 2030. 2030, this will continue. But it needs 2 generation change to make this goal that we have been thinking. And here, people are at the center. I must also grow as I take care of climate, as I take care of everything. So this is a thought process that all of the entities are going to grow together. So it's a long shot, nothing confirmed, but I think we have started dialoguing into that. So to wrap up this sustainable development point, I just have this slide, and you can take any topic, manufacturing, but sustainable manufacturing. Anything that you take, you will see challenges, you will see solutions, and you will see some implementation perspectives. So if we take into manufacturing as a process, I have to take care of my people's health, those who are doing. It's not to exploit them, but yes, they are joining, but how do you take care of the health? What is the operational safety that we are providing to the people, to the machines? What is the environmental impact? How much is it costing? How much consumption of energy is happening? How much waste am I going to create, and how do I dispose them of? This whole system thinking, what I mentioned in the 6th wave of innovation, is very, very vital to bring sustainability into picture. So key point, to make sustainable, think of 3 Ps: the people, the profit, business, and planet. People, profit, planet. Win, win, win has to be there to make it sustainable. Anything that's heavy will pull the other things possibly down. Therefore, we'll keep this in mind. With that, let me go to the next segment to combine the 2, digital innovation for sustainable development. So here, you have seen in 2023, G20 happened in India, and we had a B20 task force. I've been fortunate to be part of the innovations task force and we worked with Dr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, and we built a lot of interesting things. But one thing that we did for agriculture is satellite data. How do I use it in the farms? That was one delivery that we made out of it. How do you secure satellite data, and then how do you use it? Which sense do you use it? So as I'm chairing currently Ministry of Electronics and Telecoms, the ICT, or the Technology for Agriculture. This is a big project from MIT, and we have 5 mega projects in many universities and others, including, environment, including animal. So 2 weeks down the road, we have in NDRI Kalyani, which is doing milk mastitis. The cows are suffering some diseases, or the milk quality goes down. So how do you check those? And there are patents that are happening, and we are thinking about products to take it out. So in this context, I'm also part of this year's B20 Brazil that is happening for sustainable food system and agriculture. And I just thought I will paint a picture here in a broader sense to see how does the future farm look like. On one hand, you see on the right side, smart tractors. So GPS controlled steering, soil erosion, you can check, fuel cost will be reduced, smart tractors. You see here agri-bots, fleet of agri-bots. We're talking precision agriculture. So hard up specialized agri-bots to crops, weeding, fertilizing. You want to remove the weeds, you want to fertilize, you want to harvest, seed. All these are possible, and significant cost can be reduced of even fertilizer, the pesticides that are coming into food, we can reduce that. Our Prime Minister recently has launched Drone Didi, right? And this is a beautiful example, not just for technology, to bring it into the agriculture, to grow food, but it's a great example of empowerment, and that to women empowerment in rural areas, because the work that they have been doing at times is not so well respected in the agri context. I'm not talking in the home context, but in the agri context. This is a workforce augmentation and looking at the whole human community, the men and women working together in a smarter way. So this is a fantastic program. And when you have these survey drones, I've seen many videos. Recently it's launched. People are getting trained, huge number of places through IIT Delhi. Also, we've taken a Sonepat's place for drone park. Many drone parks are coming. And I'm sure this in the next few years would be a good topic. And they can, again, precise application of inputs. Drones can view it, where are the weeds, what are the soil erosions, where are the soil variations, and many things. And I was talking about cows, and if they have disease and something, this is little futuristic, but just to have little fun also of texting cows, if the cows are pregging or, not so well. It may not be an India's situations because we still have a lot of people, but in US, you see big land and very few people to monitor. One person sitting here looking at all the farming data, but also getting all the information that is needed, and the person can focus his or her energy into the right things. So that is a vision that we have, and we will continue to work through governments and other agencies to take this forward. Continuing a little bit of this in digital innovations, one other things that's coming up even in the cities, that's less on the rural, obviously, the land is less, vertical farming, and even minimal farming. If you have a rooftop, can you not have few things or stack it up wherever possible? Maybe flowers, minimum vegetables. In the right side, you see that once this grows up vertically, this is where digital, what is digital innovation for? Sustainable development, agriculture, vehicle, land, you're not taking it. But digital innovation, as you go up, drone will be even more important to set things. It is wrong to up when in the ground, people can do it. But as it goes up, multi-layers, you can have a robotic arm with the cameras to vision and pluck the fruits. Our government project one in Shere Kashmir University, how do you have a robotic arm to pick up the apples? Because that's an apple orchard, and we have seen, and it's a continuous journey to improve those algorithms. So I think by now you have got a great understanding of the agri and the farming. So coming back to our topic, one other things is this SDG 12 and sustainable consumption and production. On one hand, manufacturing sites has to take care of the production, of the packaging, of the distributions, all of those very economy friendly way, very environment friendly way. But on the other hand, you also would have to have this consumption part. We cannot keep on consuming. So there are many concepts that are coming up. For example, eco-leveling and certifications, design for sustainability. You design something meant for sustainability, not sustainability as an afterthought, but really the system is designed. How do you do sustainable marketing? Even the things that are not so obvious, there are work that has started happening alongside waste management and things like that. So that's a circle that you see. On the right side, I put it, whereas you see here circular economy, right? So you not only design, you retail, you consume, and then we have been throwing it. This is where the change happens, the green part that comes, reuse, repair, recycle, repurpose. A lot of is into it to make sure that if there is a life still alive in that part, if not full, if you have an electronic board, if some components could be taken out, if certain lithium batteries could be reconsumed, right? From Samsung, when you did this smartphone, we are moving on into next generations. But there are phones that are available 3 generations back because you bought it. And earlier we had people to pass on, your help in domestic help or somebody, friends, families who could not afford, we had the room to pass it on. Now you don't have the room. They also have 2 phones, probably. So therefore, we thought, why don't we repurpose, block all these calling and other facilities and think about it. So we came out with an idea that suppose I have an S7 phones. It is still perfectly running. It still has enough processing power. Can I not use it as surveillance camera? You have a good camera, put it somewhere that can monitor, just for that purpose. Forget as a camera and as a smartphone, but repurpose. You have 2 floors and your baby is somewhere upstairs in the crib, you can do a crib monitoring. So you put that, and at least you know the sound that comes and you can bring it up. So we thought about many such applications that we can do it with the older smartphones. So that's again an innovation in some way in the productions, in the consumption, and in the recycling, repurpose, repair, that angle of it. And I'm happy that to see many e-waste management or waste management companies are coming as a startup to take care of this. Keeping the thread, let me just move on to the similar thoughts, but in a bigger way. This is a case study from Japan, Kitakyushu City. They take it as a public-private partnerships and take it like an example. What needs to happen if you want to create a smart city? So you need some role model. You can't just do it every places. And even in India, we have declared 100 smart cities, and some have done very well, either in cleanliness or in Wi-Fi or many other factors. But I think we have room to grow there. And we should take such examples and do it quite a lot systematically. So they think it of 4 quadrants. First is a cleaner production, all the pollution management, end of pipe, what is coming out. That's churning out from the factory, pollutant reductions. How do I save energy? How do I recover some of the resources? What is the factor, wastewater treatment, desulfurizations of the flue gas? That's this. Then you have energy management, right? Every damn device that you use, can it be done lesser? And I think even in 6G context, I was telling, there would be energy aware protocols that will make sure that your energy, you're not using unnecessary energy. If you can do it with lesser energy, why not do it? So this is a idea of regional energy saving station, and then renewable, recyclable concepts will also get into that. Then you have water treatment, water plaza. Here, on one hand, the sewage and that treatment, but also seawater. India also has a coastal region, north side, obviously, the hilly part, but the east and the south, on both sides, west, also, you have a lot of seawater. So if we learn how to do the right membranes and seawater desalination, I think we can certainly get, and I believe we have a good plan around this. There are a lot of work that is happening in India on this desalinations, and certainly this crisis of drinking water could be addressed once we have such water plaza. The last point is on Eco Town. All the waste treatments, your plastic bottles, the home appliance, automobile, how do you dispose of, how do you scrap, and systematic way, scientific way to dispose this of. That's a typical smart city. Yes, you don't have Wi-Fi and other smart elements, but these are basics. If you don't take care of them, then it's not even a good city. Forget smart city. That's what happens when our flood happens and things like that. So I think these are foundational blocks to take care before we talk about the fancy stuff to make it smarter. So yes, smart city, you can have delivery drones, you have EV charging stations. Those are the next level of things. And we are having a lot of highway, and our Prime Minister takes pride that, every day, possibly 30 kilometers of roads are getting built. So it's, we can see the quadrangle is getting widened. So those are factors on roadways, sensors, cameras, drones, that will make it. So when you look into this smart city, I think, again, there are things that are physical, there are sensors, right? That how do you connect to one versus the other, your grid, your infrastructure, right, in the keywords that you see. But on the other hand, you see data analytics, right, your cloud and things like that. That's part of the cyber. So it's a cyber physical systems, that's coming together, and we have to see where do you leverage which one for what kind of purposes. So that's your smart city. So I've talked about smart agriculture and smart city. This is again on the same thread that I mentioned earlier. This is my other initiative, just to highlight again. This is for the industry leaders that I'm running a CTO Crest as a coaching, and the theme is research to revenue. These are 10 to 25 years people that join. So we have done 4 cohorts in Bangalore, Delhi, and Hyderabad. This is the last one inside Micron Technologies, the leaders that you see. And next weekend, I'm doing again in Hyderabad, but that's a public forum. And I have a plan to do it in Pune, you being there in November 3rd week. So if you are interested, this is the webpage, ctoleadership.com, and we will come back to that. You can connect me separately. But here, my goal is all these thought process that we are talking of sustainability and these, we have to create many leaders who believe in these, who sees business, the three factors that you said, people, process, and your profit and the planet. Now, if we don't have solid leaders who have understood how to deal with it, then I don't think we can just hope that it will happen. So this initiative is about bringing up people who value these things and who combine this to take and make things happen. So this is a 20-hour program that we nurture. Let me just go to the last segment to close it. This is about the human and machine. I talked about inclusion and empowerment, that segment of it, right? All other things, I think through examples we have explained, but in these 3 slides I wanted to highlight before we close. So here the idea is, the people that are there, and there are many disadvantaged people. I mean, some may be education-wise, some otherwise, and there are efforts in those directions. So I've not taken those as an examples, but I'm taking here assistive technology, the digital innovation through assistive technologies, but how it can change life of people, and you are including those people into the normal stream, right? They have the self-dignity and this. So you can have senior citizens suffering from dementia or memory support or Alzheimer's. There are a lot of devices that are coming. And I'm working with some of the startups, and we as an angel investment or Samsung Ventures have been investing. Some of these are falling into this bucket to make sure, there are support. It's not always easy because the technology is very heavy, but market size might be smaller than normal product. But if you can make it right, I think there is a good joy into that. So that's for the senior citizen. You have people, the knees are issues, challenges, the spinal cord injury. There are assistive technology that have come. Limbs, the Jaipur Fit is a good example, even before all these hi-fi tech that I think is nice, but even they are getting strengthened. So it's not just that you can walk, but you can even maybe run and participate in Paralympics and things like that. So it's not just bringing you to normal, making you even super normal in that context. I see this tetraplegia and the wheelchairs, but these wheelchairs are, it's okay to sit down and carry, but what happens this person when they have to stand up? You need again some support. There are new wheelchairs that have come that actually, if you press button, it will help you to straighten, stand up. So it takes it forward, and then you can, be independent in that sense. So taking from there are many other examples. If you have a stroke or hearing aids that you see, how do you do diabetic, movements and your insulin adjustment. All of these, you can see that there are technologies to take it forward. So how do you make human with the help of machines? I won't call humanoid, but I think the human machine is helping to become better human, stronger human, powerful human. That's, I think, one part. The other thing that's on the other side of the story, and we have seen even in the COVID time, the jobs that would be lost and things like that, but it's a shifting. I think there are newer jobs that would be there. Like, I gave example of drone Didi. That's a new job, right? In the farm, there is one person who is sitting and monitoring, not the same thing, but to run them, you need a new workforce to do it. So therefore, it's a reskilling that is needed and a new way of looking at the jobs. And many a time, I think in future, I would put, and I'm working a little bit on these sides, on the human-machine interactions and collaborations. I think we'll have to think the machine will be part of our life, some robots as home, some robots in the workplace, some possibly in the shop floors, and which work is better for human to do and what is meant for machines to do, and how do you collaborate between the two would be again a a normal, sustainable way of living life. The present way of living life, I think 10, 15 years down the road, I can't predict the exact point, but I can definitely predict that that will be a move, is the two together collaborating on the best part that we can do and empower each other to benefit. So with that, I come to the last slide to sum it up, to say that today we have Industry 4.0, which is IoT and connectivity and all of those. But there is Industry 5 concept. It's very early stage. Also, side by side, there is society concept, Industry 5.0 and Society 5.0. So Industry 5.0, you bring in action on sustainability, respects planetary boundaries. You stay human-centric between industry and society. We don't want to take another view on this. I think human should be at the center. We become resilient. At the same time, in the society, some of these factors, technologies that are coming, merging between cyberspace and the physical space, as I said, cyber physical systems, design thinking, these would be a way. So yes, we want to ensure high quality lives full of comfort and vitality. I don't think the goal should be, okay, compromise on lives to maintain planet. I don't think that's required. Maybe temporary here and there, but I think the goal is to attain a high quality lives, but find ways, do science and things like that to be able to make sure that industry moves, but we are also not compromised from our comfort and vitality. So with that, I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. It has been very nice to midst of all the Pune communities. I wish we could meet sometime. And May 17th has been the World Telecom and Information Society Day. We are celebrating today through this online webinar. And I, again, best wishes to all the community friends. And as I said, many of the things that we discussed, we can take it through our professional societies and nurture it through our student bodies, through our professional network, the NGOs that we partner with, some of these thoughts. So thank you very much. With that, I will stop and hand over to Dr. Amar.
Yes, thank you, sir. It was an excellent and fruitful session. So now there will be a vote of thanks. After vote of thanks, there will be group photo session, and after that, the question answer session will be there. So now I am requesting Dr. Uttam Avari sir to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Institute of Engineers Pune Local Center, I, Dr. Uttam Avari, would like to take this opportunity to present the vote of thanks for 11th World Telecommunication and Information Society Day, organized jointly by IEI, IEEE, IETE, and the ITE Society. First and foremost, I would like to thank our theme speaker, Dr. Aloknath Day, for taking out precious time for his busy schedule to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. I would like to extend my profound gratitude toward the convener of this program, Dr. Girish Mundra, Council member of Institute of Engineers, for taking effort from last 1 month to organize this event. I would like to thank to the chairman and secretary of all this professional body, IEI, IEEE, IETE, and ITE, to organize this event jointly. I would like to thank organizing team and the audience for today's celebration of World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. Thank you. Over to Amar, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now I am requesting to all to make the video on so that we can take the group photo.
Everyone,
Dr.
all
Malvi
audience
sir,
also can
make the
unmute.
video on. Dr. Kharadkar sir, make the video on.
We
Dr.
request
Makarand Jadhav
everybody,
sir,
we
make the
request
video on.
everybody, all the audience, please switch on your video so that we can have a group photo. Quickly in a minute, those who can switch on their video, it will be good to have the memories and it will be shared on the web page of each society.
So I am taking the screenshot. Sir, you can also take the screenshot.
Yes.
One second. Again, taking this screenshot. Okay, I have taken the screenshot. Thank you very much. So now, if there are any questions, so let us know. You can type in the chat window.
Or directly also it can be asked.
Yeah, but I have
Yes,
already.
you can unmute yourself and you can directly ask the questions. Thank you.
I have sent it on the chat. Can you read it for the?
Yes, yes, sir. So there was a question from Dr. Mrinal. This is a wonderful session. What is the role of IoT and generative AI in sixth wave?
See, IoT has been there even in the fifth wave itself. So what we try to do it in the thing is obviously there are three aspects which I mentioned. You know, we want to make a connected world. So connectivity is very important, and that's there already in the IoT. What's happening is the connectivity space in the sixth wave, what I mentioned about the 6G, that it's not just the ground level communications, but also multi layers. How do you include maritime? How do you include satellite, the UAVs, all of those, the balloons, a lot of other things that are in the airspace. That's, I think, is the evolutions. And the newer protocols may come, newer applications through that, through drones and other things. That would be the IoT space alongside 6G, because that gives you the full connectivity. This gives you the local connectivity plus the applications. Generative AI, I think AI has been there and it's empowering even in the 5G context, let's say communication context. The AI was not a pre-thought. The system of 5G has not been designed keeping AI in mind. Forget Gen AI, but even AI was not kept in mind. So sixth generation or 6G communication as well as sixth level of innovation is making multiple streams of communications, and each layer will communicate, and there is room for AI to be included into each layers. So when the standard is getting not yet started drafting for 6G, it will happen in 25, but people are thinking smaller layers, and between two layers, when you pass on the data, there is enough things that you can bring on the AI. Gen AI has been there for last 1 year. It is helping quite a lot in the creativity space, right? That's the artistic space. You want to write a poem, you want to write an article, but it's still taking data from the internet and summarizing, deriving, recommending through that. It's still not creative. So this space is not yet clear how it will play a role. 2024 is very crucial. I think this year people have been thinking consumer level, there is a lot of Gen AI applications. Today I can write, one day I can write 25 pages just with the help of Gen AI, OpenAI or any other tools. We can create, let's say 20 ideas that you want to create for how do you make a toy that looks like a kangaroo, right? If you ask it, it will give you 20 different ways of looking into it. So that space is there. consumer space, the fun, the entertainment, the creativity. Where it is not clear, which is 2024 and part 25, will be how do you take a Gen AI into the enterprise, and enterprise getting empowered. So this is early to comment how it will fan out, but I think we will see tons of things that people will try and some things will click, right? So that's my answer to that question.
We have Dr. Bharti to moderate this session of question answer. Dr. Bharti, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, any question, please?
Yeah, sir. I am audible?
Yes.
You are audible, sir.
Okay, there is one question, sir, from Prashant Bartake, sir. How will farmers in India accept disruption due to digital innovation?
Yeah, that's a different point. I think farmers understand, see what they need. I mean, again, to understand, and Prime Minister again have announced that double their earnings. You know, they need to be, they want 2-3 things. One, you can see the MSP part of is the minimum price points. Now that may be possible, maybe not. I'm not getting into that debate, but what they're saying is there are issues. Suddenly the prices go up, prices go down. I thought onion is great, potato is great, but you say 100 rupees and then you say not even 10 rupees. That's a big difference for me to predict, and it takes time. So they are asking for an assurance. This demand supply, we need to work on from government platform and marketplaces to make sure that the predictions of food and agriculture that is required is matching with the productions. I think production consumption mismatch is causing a lot of trouble. That's one part. The other part of it is the weather part. You know, there are rain, no rain, drought. There also, I think we can do few things. And this is where one thing, the indoor farming, or you know, this vertical farming in a controlled fashion. So I think people are moving towards how can I better control the environment that at least partly can take care of my external exposures. Or if there is an external exposure that has happened, rain did not happen, can I have drones to sprinkle water, which is equivalent of rains, right? This is where the digital innovation that I would expect to happen, and minimum support price, not by guarantee, but more by predictions and mechanisms. And this control, if something fails, how do you support them? I think that's where we would require.
Sir, I have sent few questions
Please.
to you directly. Can you read that so that you may choose anything you want?
I am checking the chat. I see
Aloknath.
all the questions that are there. Your direct question.
Sir, you can
I'm
ask direct questions. I am not able to see the questions at the chat window.
Kurjekar sir, better if you can read that question.
You can ask you.
Yeah, you can ask.
Yeah, sir, about the precision agriculture which you introduced.
Oh, I can see. I can see now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea on precision agriculture is one point that you mentioned, but there is no question. So yes, we are going for precision agriculture. It's difficult, but I think effort has to be put. And with drones, agribots, and other things, I'm sure, you know, smart tractors, all of these are moving towards that to do this. This is, I think, is important.
Yeah.
Other question is plastic waste management is a problem. What is the practical suggestions? I think, you know, here it's a, you also know, I also know, we try to segregate and we do it, but I'm not sure if it's till the end point, it remains segregated. That's one part. But also I think the materials, what we have started doing in some cases, that when people are using or disposing it off or buying things, we are giving them an alternative way of getting that, either in packaging. See, I work with one company by sustainable packaging, because again, if you improve on sustainable packaging, then doesn't matter how consumers will do it, it will be taken care of. But yeah, plastic takes time. There is, if it's not properly disposed, I think there is no obvious suggestions. But there are some bacterial studies that are going on which can eat these plastics, and possibly there would be disintegration of that type, that if you can segregate and take it, but it's still a work and a research in progress.
My just thinking was on the precision agriculture, that lot depending upon the availability, and then for the farmers in India, majority of them are very poor to handle all these things. We need to create a cell or a bank of the gadgets which you people and some other experts also in the foreign countries they are suggesting. So the bank of such things like the smart tractors and the drones and other things would only looks as a solution for the farmers in India.
I think you are right, and I believe it will grow in future. But I see in Punjab, I have seen smart tractors and a newer way of doing things. It may not be perfect, partly jugaad, as we do in India, which is again cost effective. So you can't go in one step refined version, but it works for them. So if it works for them, it works for them.
Yeah.
And I think these drones, the scheme that we have, I mean, Prime Minister have been telling, once that comes, it will start to give you a broader picture, and people will be educated about their lands. They even don't know that some places there is more pesticide. So it's just spread the way we feel. There is no scientific basis of why am I dropping that much pesticide? That corner is not requiring, that soil is very thin. That knowledge is not there. So I think it's first is the education part of knowing your land, right? The way knowing our body, knowing our home. So it's knowing your land well. Once they know, they have enough knowledge. They're also smart in other senses, business ways, and they have been producing paddies and field. So I think that coupling has to happen. So few years will go into the educational front. That's my belief.
So, Dr. Day, this is Dr. Surekha. The
Yes.
way we are having this conversation around agriculture, one of the reason for that is at Pune section, we have come to a good amount of maturity level as per creating very strong ecosystem with farmers, engineering colleges, agriculture colleges, and some of the NGOs plus industries. And Kurzekar sir have, he has been instrumental in coordinating all these projects, and very rightly mentioned by you. He also takes care of, the new opening around precision agriculture, and it needs a lot of advanced instrumentation and measurement and control devices. So in that purview, all, the way we have a MOU with North Jersey, this year we are envisioning to have an MOU with the Portugal section, where
Okay.
I society, and because we have had Postology, Dr. Postology, who actually works in precision agriculture. So once we have already created that foundational proof of concept of identifying or monitoring the soil, the soil ingredients, the fertility of the soil, develop exactly. I still remember the one example that you gave about the rain. And here students have developed some drone which goes certain kilometers above in the cloud, and they measure that humidity and the kinds of parameter that you need to measure, and then they will be analyzed and communicated to this farmer. And I agree with you that farmers are very knowledgeable. What they need is assistive technology. So we can
Exactly.
help them with their experience and humongous amount of knowledge, and convert that knowledge with the help of technology enabler. And we have been doing it at section, for last 2 to 3 years. So I will be happy if you come to Pune, as you mentioned, in
Sure,
November.
sure.
We
And if
will
you
be.
have a white paper or a case study once you have done, I'll be very happy to also, share with ministries, because we are talking into this, and we are thinking of next gen projects for the agri-tech, like what we have been doing for last 2 years are maturing, and transfer of technology is happening, 2 projects. But I think we are thinking next big thing. So we'd love to participate or to take it forward or share with
I
you.
would do it, sir. I would certainly share.
You
I'll
are
connect.
most welcome to Pune Professional Network, Dr. Day. And
Yes,
definitely
yes.
we will have a platform.
Very happy to see so many faces. Very nice.
Yeah, we have many eminent persons joining this audience team.
Yes.
So I request if anybody have any view to express, please unmute yourself and you can talk. I see VB Singh Saab,
Yes,
I
VP
see
Singh sir is there.
Viva Vyas madam.
Nice to see you. Very nice to see you.
You can unmute Nitin Mawle Saab. Yeah.
Dr. Saab, I congratulate you and thank you for a very, very wonderful talk. In fact, you have touched all the points regarding this sustainable development. Sir, one thing I have to ask that now the cyber crime is the order of the day. Every day we read in newspaper that someone has roofed off 40 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So can this digital innovation help in this regard?
There are two parts to this. One is there are technology and people are working in the technology two ways so that it doesn't happen or it stops, or if it happens, how do you do that? But the other part of it is education part. I think there are people who are becoming, or maybe for whatever reason, I don't want to judge them, but if you are part of the greed factor, too quickly to get it or too naive to do it, then I think we need some help at home or some level of education, because that there is no substitute. No technology can take care of that. Technology can stop, but there would be always people who would be this anti way of thinking. They'll find ways. As you become smarter, they become further smarter. So I think this education is an important part. I think IEEE section, we have created a group whose job, even in local language, to go around and to educate people the obvious things. We cannot take care of all points, but on cybercrime, the obvious factors in local language, we have teams working that I am aware of. So
Thank you,
yeah, it's
sir.
a tough
Thank
problem,
you.
but there are solutions that are happening.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
And, also, thanks to Professor Mundra, Chairman Potte, who has given me a chance to join this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wonderful
My
talk.
pleasure, sir. You joined. It's our pleasure.
Sir, I have one question.
Please, please.
Okay, 1 minute. Sir. How will education in India accept the disruption due to digital innovation and sustainability?
How is education? Sorry,
How
can
will
you...
education in India accept disruption due to digital innovation and sustainability? Or how will you foresee the education sector changes because of this digital innovation and sustainability?
See, what is coming, through technology, through society, in other places, sooner or later we'll have to accept. To what degree? We have a cultural thought process. Some we will reject because it's not Indian, it's not our way of thinking, which is right, because it's a conscious decision. But you can't deny everything and say, I will cocoon myself to old technology and stay. That will not work. So therefore, I think the acceptance or no acceptance by any community is not even a factor. Only thing they can do by participating and modulating what's culturally accepted, regionally accepted, that kind of thing. So that's first point. The second point, I see a little, because these days I've been with my ex-trans and these boards, and I'm talking to many vice chancellors, the ICT director. So I see there is a change. Earlier, it used to be all classroom to these doing things, projects, going out, and partly students are enforcing because they need that for their future, and also faculty's development program. So I believe, I think they are coming into picture. Students are all forthright to learn. Sometimes we don't have a mechanism to deliver the right way to them, to make it interesting, to make it powerful. We have a little financial constraint at places that the labs require to do it. It's not cost effective. Therefore, we are also suggesting a hub kind of concepts in a city. 4 or 5 colleges can even share a little bit together in infrastructure. So to sum it up, they have to accept, students are accepting, they are learning, they are a little concerned, how does it impact their jobs and employment? I think that's where we'll have to work. How do you grow employment? What are the new skills that are required? How do you define skill stacks? And keep working with them, not worrying too much and embracing newer technology.
Thank you,
Be
sir.
hopeful.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Any more
There is one more
questions?
question, sir,
Any of the audience?
from Professor Nitin Mawle, sir. Any digital innovations in solar energy generation?
Yes, I think there have been a lot of digital innovations. First, I think the price that used to be there, I remember in 2008, I calculated one's price. That time it was 17 rupees or even more, 20 rupees per unit. It was costing. And today, I think it's quite comparable to the normal electricity, even if going cheaper. So that's, I think there is sales density, all of those materials, recycling, distribution, every places there have been work. The other thing that is happening, in terms of maintaining, I think this big solar panel cleaning is a big issue. Otherwise, the efficiency goes down. There is a storm, it's in outside, again, open field. So there are micro robots that are coming up to clean the surfaces very quickly because you can't do it otherwise. So definitely there are innovations, cost effectiveness, and India has created this Solar Alliance Energy, this whole alliance. And Prime Minister has been talking about zero cost energy, right? I mean, electricity, zero cost electricity in next 5 years. I mean, that's a mission. What it means is we can use more solar and wind and other kind of energy and have some capex cost upfront, but OPEX cost would be very lesser. And we can create our own energy in the rooftop, possibly. I mean, it can take some time, but we are a country, we can take this solar energy forward.
Yes, thank you, sir. I think there is one compliment, sir, from Dr. Engineer Brahma Reddy from Hyderabad. Excellent and highly relevant speaking on the theme, and congrats to Dr. Aloknath, theme speaker from Brahma Reddy, II Hyderabad.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy, for appreciating.
Participants, let us know if there are any questions.
Any questions, you are free to ask.
And you can join in the LinkedIn or ask separately, feel free anytime. I'm quite happy and active in these societies. And if it's the industry, then we'll talk again on the CTO crest or that kind of consulting and the program that Dr. Surekha talked about in the agriculture domain. They're very happy. If it's a college, then I think the Xtrans and those solutions, we can take it forward. So you can connect with me separately. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr.
If anybody have any remark? Any remark by anybody?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you,
excellent
Day
session.
sir. Thank you, Day sir.
Thank you
Dr.
very
Day.
much. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
sir.
Thank
Thank you.
Yeah. It was a wonderful, very informative and interesting session. And certainly